Hey everyone, let's dive right into some fantastic material from Nova English Academy today. Unlocking a grammar concept that's absolutely crucial for describing the world around you: superlative adjectives. We're talking about mastering the highest degree of comparison. So if you've ever wanted to express that something isn't just great, but the absolute peak, well, you're in exactly the right place.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with what superlative adjectives actually are, then move on to short and why adjectives, tackle long adjectives, cover those tricky irregular superlatives, and finally, wrap it all up with a quick practice quiz.
All right, Section 1. What are superlative adjectives? Let's get right into the basics.
So what does this all mean? Basically, a superlative adjective is a descriptive word you use specifically when you're comparing three or more people, animals, places, or things. That number 3 is the magic threshold here. If you're just comparing two things, you use a completely different rule. But 3 or more, you gotta use a superlative. Oh, and there's an absolute golden rule you need to remember. We almost always drop the word the right before it. Since you're singling out one specific thing as the ultimate, it gets the.
Let's see this in action. Take a look at these examples. The lion is the biggest animal here. See how that works? Out of a whole group, 3 or more animals, the lion is singled out as taking the crown. It's the biggest. Same with this one. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Out of thousands of mountains on Earth, Everest is the one singled out. It's the highest. The word the, combined with that special adjective form, creates a really powerful, undeniable statement.
Moving right along to Section 2, short and why adjectives. We're looking at rules 1 and 2.
Okay, so rule number 1 is for short adjectives, usually those quick one-syllable words. And this rule is incredibly easy. You just tack on the letters est to the end of the base word. Think of the word tall. When you want to compare 3 or more things, tall seamlessly shifts to the tallest.
Let's run through a few more of these so you can really feel the rhythm of this pattern. Small becomes the smallest. Fast shifts to the fastest, and old turns into the oldest. Put them in a full sentence, and it sounds perfectly natural. Sarah is the tallest girl in the class. Or maybe, this is the fastest car. See, it's a super reliable pattern.
But what happens if the word ends in a y? Well, that brings us to rule number 2, and it beautifully illustrates how English mechanics adapt. It's just a simple two-step process. Step 1, drop that y entirely and change it to an I. Step 2, go ahead and add your est, exactly like we did in the first rule.
It really clicks when you see the words side by side. Take the word happy. Since it ends in y, we can't just slap an est on the end. That looked totally weird. So we swap the y for an I, add the est, and boom, happy becomes the happiest. It's a tiny spelling tweak, but absolutely essential when you're writing.
Let's map out a few more of these. Easy drops the y, adds the I, and becomes the easiest. Busy works exactly the same way to become the busiest. In everyday conversation, it flows perfectly. She is the happiest girl in the group. Or maybe if you're taking a test, this is the easiest question. You can really hear that distinct eest sound hitting at the end of every single one of these.
Let's keep building. Section 3, long adjectives. This is rule number 3.
So, for longer adjectives, usually words with 2, 3, or more syllables, English actually gives us a little break on the spelling. We don't change the ending of the word at all. No extra letters. Instead, you just drop the phrase the most right in front of the base adjective.
Check out the base word beautiful. It's a long, multi-syllable word, right? Saying beautiful list just sounds super clunky and hard to say. So keeping it simple, beautiful just becomes the most beautiful. The adjective itself stays perfectly intact.
Let's lock this in with a few more examples. Expensive is a long word, so it turns into the most expensive. Interesting becomes the most interesting. Think about walking through a garden and spotting an amazing bloom. This is the most beautiful flower. Or walking out of a great film, it was the most interesting movie. You let the grammar get out of the way so those descriptive words can do all the heavy lifting.
Now for the fun part. Section 4, irregular superlatives. I like to call these the curveballs.
Because English always loves a good curveball, right? For these specific words, the standard rules just completely go out the window. You literally just have to memorize these, and mental hooks, like thinking of a gold star, are great for that. When you want to take good to its absolute peak, it is never goodest. It becomes the best, striving for that top spot.
Bad drops to rock bottom and becomes the worst. And far actually gives you two acceptable options. It becomes either the farthest or the furthest.
We use these words constantly because they describe the absolute extremes of everyday life. Imagine handing out an award. She is the best student in the class. Or venting after a total disaster of a day. That was the worst day of my life. Honestly, mastering these irregulars is for sure the fastest way to make your spoken English sound supernatural and fluent.
All right, let's see what you've retained. Section 5, Quick Practice Quiz. Time to test your knowledge.
Here's your first challenge. Complete this sentence. The elephant is blank animal here. Your base adjective is big. Think back to the rules we just went over. Big is a short adjective. Take a second. Go ahead and shout it out or lock the answer in your head. What's it going to be?
If you guessed the biggest, you hit the nail right on the head. Since it's a short adjective, we apply Rule 1, add that EST, and never forget our crucial word, the. Awesome job.
Okay, let's try one more. Sarah is blank girl in the class. This time your base word is happy. Look really closely at how that word ends. Think about the specific mechanical changes we went through for this exact scenario. What's the superlative form here?
And the answer is the happiest. Sarah is the happiest girl in the class. You drop the Y, swap it for an I, and attach the EST. If you remembered that IEST spelling, that is a fantastic sign that these concepts are really sticking for you.
Now, what's really great about this is we can put the whole shebang into one visual cheat sheet. Short adjectives, the plus EST. Ends in Y, the plus IEST. Long adjectives, use the most. And those pesky irregulars, you just gotta memorize that good is best and bad is worst. Seriously, grab a screenshot of this right now. It's the perfect quick reference for whenever you're writing or practicing.
And that wraps up our explainer from Nova English Academy. I just want to leave you by hammering home that core anchor concept one last time. A superlative always means you are comparing three or more things. It is the absolute highest degree of comparison. Thank you so much for focusing in and exploring this with me today. Keep learning, keep practicing. And hey, before you go, look around your space right now. Out of all the items you see, what three things can you compare today, and which one truly deserves the title of the most?